Hi guys, welcome back to the Mental Health Quarters. I just want to use this opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm so glad you went on this journey with me from the beginning of the year to this ending of the year. I took a little break somewhere maybe like 3 weeks ago, but I'm back for good. I can never disappear like that because I really love coming to talk with you guys. And so I want to wish you happy holidays, and I'll encourage you to prioritize your mental health this Christmas and this new year. Try to survive the holidays. I know the holidays are not always easy for everyone. It can be difficult because sometimes people are grieving. Sometimes people don't have the money to even want to have a good time. Sometimes this could be a first for anyone. First time spending Christmas away from home. First time spending Christmas away from your friends, loved ones. It can be difficult, but please try and survive. Read online or speak to someone or find a way to make the Christmas an enjoyable time for yourself. You may not get it exactly how you want, because me like this Christmas, if I had for everything that I want, I wouldn't be in Ghana. But I am still trying to make the best out of it by surviving. So please make sure that you survive and thrive. So let's get right into the video. So I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2015, and next year will be 10 years living and thriving with this condition in my life. But um I started my journey as a mental health advocate in 2019. I've done so many speaking engagements. And the question a lot of people seem to ask me all the time is, how does it feel like to be having a manic episode? So, for those of you who do not understand, let me break it down for you. So, bipolar disorder is a mental health condition, it's a mood disorder, which is, I'd like to describe it as a two-in-one sickness. So we have the highs and the low. That's why it's called bipolar, two poles. So with the high side, when you're having the high, that's episode, because it's characterized by mania. It's called manic episode, and we have the low, which is the depression, and because it is characterized by low. Call it depressive episode. But today I'm going to be talking about the mania. That's why I titled this video, how does it feel like to have bipolar disorder? But today I'll be discussing the mania. And with mania, we have so many symptoms, which I'll get into, and I'll take them one by one. Another time, I think I'll do a story time on that, because a lot of people are always curious to know, how does it really feel like? And do people who have manic episodes know exactly what they are doing, or they are pretending? I'm here to answer all those questions for you through my channel. But with manic episodes, um the thing about mania is that, for me, I'm going to use myself. For me, or should I talk about the symptoms first? Let me talk about some of the symptoms. So with mania, I will show the symptoms to you. I remember level 300 when I was having a like frequent manic episodes. One of the things that used to happen to me was that, so at the time, my priority was to be a good student, work hard, study hard, and all of that. But all of a sudden, I had this idea that, you know what, my hostel room, I'm going to redecorate it. So I was investing a lot of money in buying paintings, carpets, doing everything to make my room feel like a haven for me. And sometimes the money that I'm supposed to spend on books, on things that will help my education, that's the money I'll go to Melcom shopping. And it was just a lack of poor judgment. Hey, is that right? It was just poor judgment, because the right judgment I should have been having was, this money is for the books, this money is for this, should invest in it. Another time, I remember, and the funny thing was that no matter what I bought for that room, it didn't make me feel any better. So I just kept buying more. And the truth of the matter is, I was going to be in that room for only 2 semesters. And because of my poor judgment, I didn't see it like I was going to be in the room for 2 semesters. I saw it like I was going to be in this room permanently. It doesn't make sense now, but in my manic state, it did make a lot of sense why I should paint my room. Another time, so I remember I told a friend of mine that I saw that she was selling shoes, and I went to her hostel and I've forgotten a number of pairs of shoes. But when I was she taking them, trying them on, everything, I remember she asked me that, Esna, are you sure you can pay for all these shoes? I was like, I got you. I can pay for these shoes. I took the shoes to my room feeling very fulfilled and everything, only for me to wake up the next day and realize, oh my God, I acted out of mania. And the embarrassing thing was that, how am I going to return these shoes or explain to this person that I took the shoes out of mania and I want to return them because I can't, use all of them. I can't work in some of them. And this person was went to the same senior high school in the same class in university. It's not someone that I can avoid. It's someone that within my circle, I'll always run into them. And it was very embarrassing because I didn't have the money. I had to go for therapy, talk to my psychologist about it. She told me I should tell my dad about it. Eventually, he helped me to pay her back. And all my dad said was, you know what? I wish these were books, like books you went to take on credit and I was paying for. And he just made it a light moment for both of us. But I will never forget that moment. And when someone is manic, there are so many poor decisions that they make that you on the outside would think, this person, doesn't a person have the right sense to know this is a poor decision they're making? But for me, when I'm manic, it's like something has taken over my mind. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel fine. I'm doing everything wrong, but it's like maybe like me going for these shows. I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but I would finish doing the act before when the episode is going, before I realize, oh my gosh, what a big mistake I made. What a completely huge mistake I made. And sometimes I like to describe it like someone is driving, like I'm driving the car of my life. Like I'm in control, driving that car. Then all of a sudden, when the mania comes, it's like somebody who talks like me, behaves like me, just comes into the car, pushes me to the passenger seat or the back seat, whatever, and then drives the car, takes control, like causes chaos, accidents, pandemonium, everything. Then when the person is done and gone, I'm back in the driver's seat and I realize the damage I have caused. I'm using this um, imagery to describe how I feel because most of the time people think when people are manic, they are in complete control of themselves. Yes, they may remember the things they may do, they may remember the things they said, but to being in full control there, that one, it's not really them because you should know that when someone is manic, some of the things they say or do to you, they will never do that when they are like fine. They will never ever do that. So please don't take it personal. Try. I know it hurts, but please don't take it. Another symptom is spending spree. So for me, I love window shopping. I like going to shops, seeing nice things and all of that. So you can imagine when I'm manic, what happens. So when I'm manic, sometimes I buy unnecessary things. Sometimes I buy things that don't even make sense. Sometimes I go to a shop. Maybe I know I have 100 cedis, but because of my manic state, I just fill the trolley with so many things, not even taking into account the amount of money I have in my purse. And I get to the counter or the cashier or whatever, and by the time I realize, maybe they will say that things are 1,000 cedis and what I have is 100 cedis. And I'm like, oh, let me take this out, let me take this out. Okay, try again. How much is it? I remember one time I did that thing at Melcome. One of the cashiers was so angry and she told me her mind. She showed that she wasn't happy about what I was doing. And because I was manic, I was so angry. I also told her my mind, I told her that I'll sue her, I'll report her to her boss, blah blah blah. And now I look back, I'm like, poor cashier. She had no idea that manic me was just mean. Like, and I'm really sorry for that. I don't think I remember her, but it was sometimes people who are manic just hurt people without even realizing how much they are hurting them. So it was very embarrassing, very unfortunate for everybody around. Another thing too is you can be overly good when you are manic, like excessively generous, excessively kind. So there have been times where I have given out my stuff. Oh, there are sometimes some clothes I can't find because in my manic state, I just give them out, or shoes or bags. I just gave them out. There was a time I almost lost my um university certificates because I was manic. I just started packing things into a suitcase and I went and put the suitcase outside by the bin. So if the um garbage truck had come, they would have taken everything away. But thankfully my mother saw it and brought it back. Even now when I was telling her, why did she bring it back? Sometimes when you're manic, you just get rid of stuff. I don't know. It happens to me. It has happened to other friends of mine who have bipolar disorder. You just get rid of things, thinking that you are doing the right thing, giving it out. Sometimes you can even lose very important things. Yeah. Then another thing too is increased sexual drive. So for me, there have been times where in that manic episode, I have dressed seductively. I don't know why. I just felt I was the most I was the most beautiful girl in the world. I think I dress modestly. I love to believe that I do dress modestly, but when I'm manic, there's this other side of me that my fashion, my makeup, everything shows this is not it's not this another person. So I remember when I was in university, whenever I'm manic, I would wear these clothes that they do not represent me. And there was a time that someone told a close friend of mine that, hey, what's going on with me? Like, everything about me has changed. And like people close to me back then, not everybody knew I had bipolar disorder, but that was how I started representing myself. And I was hang because of my fashion, it started attracting the wrong kinds of people into my life. It started making me hang out with people that I shouldn't be hanging out with. I was just living a very reckless, living a very reckless life. It's by the grace of God that nothing bad happened to me around that time. So sometimes I just feel like mania can put you somewhere that you can put you in a very like dangerous zone, somewhere that you never thought you would be, and people will judge you for it. Even you yourself, when you recover from the mania, you judge yourself for it because you know that maybe like you know that this is not you and then this happened and the guilt is a lot. Then another thing too is abuse of drugs, particularly cocaine, alcohol, sleeping medication. So because me, I haven't had that issue before. I have but I've had friends who have abused drugs and stuff because of the mania, because mania causes you to live very wild things you shouldn't be doing the alcohol. Sometimes even people abuse sex, and then the sleeping medications. People do it because they are already struggling to sleep. But I don't indulge in that, so I don't have any stories for you in that department. You may notice that they seem to be in an extremely euphoric, extremely high, good mood. And I'm using the word extremely because if someone is in a good mood, it doesn't mean that they are having a manic episode. And this mood I'm talking about could last for weeks, months, years. Like it's extreme. Then another thing you may notice is that they may be excessively irritable, like something that's on a regular, it wouldn't make them angry, or they could easily get annoyed. Yeah, you see the irritability in there. You have racing thoughts. So for me, like this, the racing thoughts is like a lot of ideas start coming to my head at like I can be on my bed and I'll be having these ideas. Why don't you start a poultry business? Then you can do it with your IT business. Then you can sell water on campus. Then you can actually open a restaurant, and from restaurant we go digital. Like it's just coming, and because of the racing thoughts, it makes you talk excessively. You talk a lot. So For me, like this, those who are close to me know it when I'm manic, because I do love talking, but when I'm manic, I talk a lot, and sometimes some of the things that I'm saying doesn't add up. So people who know me very well, they can tell when I'm manic, because the talking is a bit too much. Already, I like talking, so you can imagine when I'm manic. Then we have difficulty concentrating. So I used to have this problem when I was on campus, when I was newly diagnosed. I realized that I could go for lectures, but I will struggle to concentrate. So because of that um, discomfort, struggling to concentrate, sometimes I'll arrive for lectures late, or I'll walk around the class, and when I'm walking around, it starts to look like I'm seeking for attention, but it's because I'm really struggling to concentrate. And when I'm struggling to concentrate, it reflects in my academic work. Like my grades start tanking, and then I end up having very bad grades. And then we also have, for me, I struggle with insomnia when I'm having a manic episode. Little or poor sleep. So maybe I could sleep for an 30 minutes and may not be able to sleep for the rest of the night, or an hour, or even if I sleep, the quality of the sleep is terrible. We have different qualities of sleep. There's some type of sleep when you go and sleep, I feel like, my soul, my body, my spirit, everything is refreshed. But insomnia and poor quality of sleep, you may struggle to sleep, be able to sleep for a few hours, and still you wake up feeling like crap. So that is one of the symptoms. Then we also have, I'm actually reading from my laptop, but we also have unrealistic beliefs in one's abilities and powers. And it's true, when you are manic, you feel you are you are powerful. No one can no one can you are, there's this, you believe like you are right, you are powerful, you are invincible. And because of that, when sometimes people try to call you out that maybe you are doing a little bit too much, or this is not right, then you see that person as your enemy. That's how me personally I feel. So when I have friends who are manic, I try as much as possible to support them in any way I can, and I try not to, be in their bad book, because it's like, I feel like when they recover, they may feel bad for some of the things they said or did i- when they were in that state. So sometimes I even try to support from afar, because I know that this is not my friend, this is not my family member. It's just the episode, it's just the bipolar speaking through them. So the unrealistic belief in their superpowers and things making them behave like that. We have provocative or aggressive behavior, and that's very true. When I am manic, I can be very aggressive. Already with my size, I think I'm 5'6", and my body weight too is very high. So you can imagine if someone like me, I were to go into aggressive mode, I could just push things out of the way, throw things at you. I can be very wild, and it would take a lot of people or effort for them to restrain me, because I'm very angry. So mania can make you mean, it can make you angry, it can make you like the energy that on a regular day you don't have. All of a sudden you can possess it and like destroy things that when you are well, you'll never do that and hurt people. But it's all, sometimes I think the reason why sometimes we do that is because we think we are trying to protect ourselves, and we think that we are, it's a very embarrassing situation. So I remember some years ago, I went for review with my mother, and I just took my mom's wig off. And when I did that, I just knew, wow, there's no way this doctor is going to allow you to live here. So I told my mom I'm stepping out to use the washroom. I just ran out of the hospital, tried to run away, ended up in one of my mom's friend's shop in Makola. The end, they found me, came for me. That day I was very aggressive, because my I saw my mom as the enemy, and she did not want me, she just wants them to admit me because I'm a bad person. And that's how sometimes the mind operates. So I just saw it like, you are in danger. You have to, any aggression you have to do, like anything aggressive you have to do to get out of here, just do it. But thankfully, they found me, and then my mom told me one Christmas story, and then I ended up at the hospital, and they sedated me, and I was on admission for a few days before I recovered. That was my graduation week, actually. And so sometimes we can be unpredictable like that when we are manic. It's very sad, but that's just what comes with the illness. And then denying that anything is wrong. So I think I told this story about the cake. I went to my friend's room. I destroyed her cake and then lied about it. There are also times that when you're manic, you can deny that you are you are not feeling well and things are not going on well. Things are going. You can even lie about taking your medication. I don't know what it is about mania and lying, but it's not some there's also the other side where when someone is manic, their inhibitions are low, so everything that they are saying, most of the stuff that they are saying could be the truth. So sometimes it has happened to me before where I was um brutally honest. Like I told people stuff about things that were going on in my life privately. It's involved that I told people like the truth. So there's also the side where you are actually very truthful, and there's also the side where I don't know how the mind works, but it also makes you lie. So sometimes I say that when someone is manic, it's not everything that they say that is true. Sometimes it can be the truth, sometimes it can be a lie, and it's not like the person is intentionally making it up. But there have been times where personally it really hurts me when I was manic. I actually spoke the truth, and someone went and told the people that they shouldn't mind me. I was lying. And even when I recovered, I came out to tell this person, this and this and this is the truth. Like, I'm not lying. Yeah, manic me said it, but I want to let you know that is the truth. Still, they didn't believe me. And since then, I've let it go. I mean, mania people, what is very sad is that people can sometimes use your manic episodes against you, and I'm telling you, it hurts like hell when, because of your condition, someone uses that very sorry someone uses that very thing and weaponizes it against you. It hurts like hell. Those people who have been doing that thing, please stop it. Like, don't do that because someone is manic and said or did something. Use it against the person or go around and tell, oh, this person is bipolar. Why? That's a form of stigma and discrimination. So those who have been doing that, please stop it. Just don't do that. Cry. I don't know why people sit down and do that. You have no idea the burden and the weight of carrying and living with a mental health condition. And then you have to deal with the guilt from your manic episodes, trying to forgive yourself, trying to forgive, seek for forgiveness from people, trying to move on, and the flashbacks. And the thing about manic episodes is when you finally recover, sometimes you can remember, hey, so I actually insulted my lecturer. I actually texted this person this. I actually, it hurts. So it's a lot. So that's why it's very important to have a very good support system. You go for therapy, you take your medication. I tell people, me, I do everything. It's a whole holistic affair. I'm doing physical, spiritual, everything I need to do to make sure that my mental health is top notch. I'm doing it, praying, doing my affirmations because I don't want to have another manic episode or relapse. My health is very important to me. So that's what I have to share for today. The next video we are going to talk about depression. So what a depressive episode feels like. So make sure that you don't miss this one. Please share this video and make sure to have a wonderful season, and may your Christmas holidays be filled with testimonies, miracles, and a happy, happy new year. Bye.